Ever since the ancient times, man has used their fists. Whether these weapons of mass destruction were used for battle, to fight against predators, or used to fight that rat that was in the walls a little too long, they were a major part of the growth of civilization. Now, civilization has become weak. No longer using fists, but rather using primitive weapons, such as guns or knives. But what if we went back to our ancient ways in Bonelab? Thus, I present to you today, beating Bonelab using only my fists. Now, there are a few rules to this fist-only run. 1. I'm only allowed to use forward. Any other character would make the challenge too easy or too hard. 2. I'm not allowed to use any guns or other weapons. That means no pistols, crowbars, or PC monitors. 3. I am skipping Mine Dive, Sprint Bridge, Moonbase, and Monogon Motorway, as none of these levels actually require you to fight any enemies. Now, with the rules set in place, let's begin. I began my run by trying to roll a nat 20 in D&D. However, after failing this, I decided to turn into my true form, that being forward. After going through the tunnels of Vietnam, I found myself in a dungeon. In here, I found skeletons. However, it is no longer Halloween, so I violently showed what time of the year it actually was. After escaping the dungeon, I found a crablet. Now these little suckers love to latch onto your head and bring you into reality not even the strongest of men can handle. However, after using both my hands and head, I swiftly took care of it. After that, I encountered my first piece of heresy in this run, the pistol. However, after throwing the gun away and apologizing to my ancestors for my sinful ways, I killed 2 dudes that were just minding their own business. Shortly after, I ran into the most peaceful political argument I've seen in my life. However, I then came to the realization that the perfect solution to settle their disagreement was to kill them, so they would not be allowed to argue anymore. Yes, I know, I truly am a genius. After beating up more nobodies, as well as showing a bunch of men with guns that fists were the superior weapon, I went on a very calm elevator ride.
Oh no, that's not how elevators work. They go up and down slowly.
To sum up the next level, I punched some guys, got jumped by a gang of crablets, punched through a gate of wood, beat a puzzle in a way the devs definitely did not intend, and ran through a hallway with a bunch of guys trying to shoot at me. After going through a hallway that led to a box of heresy, I brought a fist to a gunfight, went through a vent, totally did not die, and then made a crablet friend.
Let's go, you're coming with me. You and me are best friends. I'm just kidding.
Following the unforeseen death of my dear crablet friend, I broke a workplace safety rule and killed a bunch of crablets while in a vent. After getting out of the vents, I attempted a judo throw on an old body.
Judo throw! Nope, that did not work. Judo throw!
After totally succeeding at this, I jumped into the back rooms and completed the best punch combo of my life.
Oh my gosh! I just did that!
After escaping the backrooms, I was sent to Street Puncher 2, and after changing from Vin Diesel to my true form, I went through a bunch of K-pop stands after saying that literally any other music genre was better. After killing the leader of all K-pop stands, I was sent to spend 15 minutes in Ohio. After surviving Ohio, I was then sent to punch a big glowing purple ball to death.
I'm gonna kill you with my bare fists. Give up. It's gonna happen. You're just prolonging. Yes! Let's go. Oh, that was so anticlimactic.
After defeating the glowing ball, I broke into the Bonelab box and was sent to the next level. Now, in this level, they want you to turn into the heavy to move the big stone balls. However, since Ford is an absolute unit, I was able to roll them into their selected spots. After going through Ohio for the second time this run, and finding another piece of heresy, I found a large group of volunteers that were very interested in learning about the ways of our ancestors. After doing my random act of kindness and helping a man off of a ledge, I found myself in what I could only imagine was a meetup for the dream fanbase. I dealt with them in the most mature way possible. Shortly after making it to the New York subway and dealing with the average New York citizen, I found the only modern weapon in this entire game. The rock. However, I knew that this would make the challenge too easy, so sadly I had to discard it. After dealing with some guys with the guns, some villagers, and a witch doctor, I made the ascent to the final level of Bonelab. After the big hand in the sky dropped me off right next to Jimmy's car, he offered me a ride. But as we all know by now, cars are primitive, and the best way to go to places is walking. So, if you were to ask yourself if you could beat Bonelab with only your fists, the answer would be yes. Yes, you can.